basically down there as well. Any Spanish people here, there's a place just down the hill called Spanish Point, and it's called that because the biggest of the Armada ships sank down there in 1580s. I guess the Santa Ana Maria, the biggest ship. Just down there, there's a little headland. It's called Spanish Point, Punto Español. So, and they had the European Surf Championships 3 times over the last 30, 40 years. So, it's a lovely little beach with great waves too, generally. And I guess, they're coming from all over the world now to surf Irish big waves, from Donegal in the very northwest to Kerry in the southwest, all along the Atlantic coast. It's fairly outrageous. The waves get pretty full on. She's nice and calm today, but in the middle of winter, it just gets fairly outrageous here, storms and stuff. And you have big swells too. So, and I guess the Atlantic coast is the last thing a lot of Irish people would have seen emigrating from the 1700s and before, even until today. It's different today though. Anybody immigrating today, sure, you're never too far away. That's why it cracks me up, in fairness. They're giving out about all the people immigrating again. Australia, sand, sea, surfing, other stuff. Ireland, bit of rain, surfing too, bit of more rain, little bit of wind, bit more rain, some more surf. We have Guinness though, so that's what keeps us here, I suppose, because it's delicious and nutritious. 2 a day, they reckon, keeps the doctor away, isn't that right? Here's the Atlantic seaweed. Have you ever heard of a seaweed bath? I'm going to get you to buy some seaweed later on. We visit a little fishing village and you can purchase some seaweed to take home and have a bath. You just boil the kettle, put it in your boiling water, and you can get in there. It's great for your rheumatism and your skin, because of all the iodine and other vitamins in the old and minerals in the iodine, so in the seaweed iodine. Anyway, this place is called Liscannor, County Clare. It's your fairly handy little village. A lot of holiday places too being built here, slightly too many. On the right there you see the little sculpture of the submarine. The guy that commercialised the submarine came from Liscannor, County Clare, would you believe? So there's a plaque to John Holland there on the left behind the Passat there, and in the late 1800s, I guess, he was a little older than most. After perfecting his invention, I suppose, he went off to the Americas looking for money, became a school teacher, and eventually got commissioned by the US government to do what he could to make a submersible that worked and they could use. And of course then it turned out they screwed him over and they wouldn't pay him properly, so he got half of what it cost to design and build it apparently, and he got a bit miffed and he went off to Japan and he sold his designs to the Japanese, who ended up being the first to use an Irishman submarine in battle against the Russians, would you believe? Nearly useless information, but it's amazing that a little guy from Ireland, and we don't really even have a navy, that could come up and perfect the submarine. So there you go. And they're famous for their stone then, as the song goes, stone walls and the grass is green, I suppose. You'll notice here the walls are a little bit more uniform than as we travel on during the day. They get fairly outrageous proper stones. Look up there about 1 o'clock, guys. You see on the horizon there's a little tower. That's where we're going. You can see the buses and visitor centre is built right into the hillside. And then about 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock, over on the left, there's another tower. Have you read The Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe you did know, or maybe you don't know, but Tolkien spent 5 years here in Ireland, in Galway, working and studying, and they say that every minute that he had free, he would travel up and down the west coast of Ireland, listening to people about the stories of our fairy folk. The most famous fairies, I suppose, would be our leprechauns, because they have all the treasure, isn't that it?
Yeah.
And that's why they hide it at the end of the rainbow, because they ain't no fools. They're pretty smart little fellas, and even if you do catch one, they're going to promise you 3 wishes to let them go, and you can wish for anything and they'll grant that wish, but once you let them go, then they'll take him back basically, sometimes they promise you a golden coin that will end up back in your pocket every time you pay for something. They're crafty little feckers, so if you catch one, please come and find me. I'm a professional. Is that okay? Anyway, that's the story there of our Wendy's, I suppose. So, but that's a little known fact. And after lunch, we are getting into the home of our Irish fairies. So we'll see if we can find you one. Hopefully, maybe, possibly. If they're all nice to be back on time. Anyway, I guess I better tell you about the cliffs because we're nearly there. A couple of minutes now. They're not the tallest sea cliffs in Europe. They're up in Donegal in the northwest. They're 3 times taller than the cliffs of Moher here.